years, this is sort of sad to say, I've kind of lost the art of practicing purely for fun and not learning something that I have to learn. And to be honest, it's taken some of the joy away from just practicing guitar for me. And also I know that I've been missing out on learning things purely to learn rather than for a gig or for a specific piece of content, etc. I've also noticed that a lot of the gigs and the content that I am making is not always things that are challenging me the most. So I've decided this year to add in just 30 minutes of just for fun guitar practice. So I wanted to make this video in case you are in a place that you're really wanting to stick to a practice schedule and routine that you can do really easily and is not going to be daunting when you pick up the guitar. So nothing like we have to practice for 2 hours a day, etc. So in this, I'm just gonna be kind of figuring out what I wanna do as far as that structure so I can make the most of that 30 minutes and figure out what works for me. So let's go ahead and get into it, just setting up a really positive 30 minutes of doing guitar every single day. So just following a lot of guitarists, I've sort of picked up on the things that I think are really important to practice every day. And I think a few things I'm just going to be keeping in the back of my mind is one, making sure that I do something new every day. Maybe doing some of the same like finger exercises if I haven't mastered those yet, but trying to not just do things that I've done a million times, trying to actually grow in that 30 minutes. I like that John Mayer's approach to practice, that he seems to stick around a specific scale pattern maybe that he's playing, but he'll think of melodies in his head and then map them out on guitar from there. So sort of working backward rather than thinking, I'm playing in this mode, let's just noodle with these, like actually being melodic in your brain. I really like Drew Shirley, the guitarist for Switchfoot. He does something cool where he will just try to make up a new finger exercise every time he picks up the guitar. I really like that. But overall, I think my main thing is just going to be keeping awareness throughout my day, just to come back to just my love of playing guitar and just start putting things on a Spotify playlist, just songs that I want to learn. That's always just been the best way for me to learn, is thinking, what do I like? How did they do this? Thinking of these ideas in my brain and then maybe working back, like where did this come from? What theory did they use, etc. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started on the top thing that I think I'm going to start most of my practices with this year. All right, so the first section that I'm kind of thinking of is just starting off with a general sort of theory / finger exercise. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of this each practice, but the big thing I'm gonna do is focus on, am I actually doing things right or just getting through it? So for example, one thing that I always have struggled with is like my pinky finger reach here. A lot of times I'll just tend to kind of go on the side of it and it needs to go straight down in order for me to sound really clean. So focusing on just those little things. So for example, here's one exercise that I actually learned a little bit ago that is just kind of an example of something that I might throw in there. But like I said, I'm gonna try not to repeat the same things that I know very often unless I need work on it. But this one is just kind of cool. I thought I'd show for this example. And it goes up in fifths. So basically harmonizing the 1 and then it goes 5 up from that. So 5 up here. So we're gonna start on the G string on the first fret. It's gonna go 1 and then 5 up from that, which is the D note. And then I'll start now on the D note and I'll go 5 up from the D note. So just kind of a fun little like harmonizing exercise. So it's gonna be 3rd fret E, and then 5th fret A, 5th fret A, 7th fret D. And now we're over here back to our G note here. And so this is going to be the 5th fret of the D string. And then I'm going to go to the 7th fret of the G string. And now I'll go 7 up from that. So that's going to be on the 10th fret of the B string. So far this would be kind of what this would sound like. And now I'll go to the 8th fret of the B string, to the 10th fret. See how I naturally do that, so I need to really correct that. And then going back down. So. And then. same thing and just keep moving it wherever. And since I'm working with the 1 and 5, I'm not gonna need to worry about the like flat 3 in doing a minor. So I'm just gonna do that same finger exercise up. And I'll just keep doing that. And so as I do that, I'm just gonna focus on, am I doing this really clean? And maybe speeding it up a little bit. Another thing that I'm gonna personally be adding in this first round of practices is just kind of some finger stretch exercises. So like going on like just kind of a nonsensical thing like 3 of my low E string, and then 5, and then 7. And then I'll go back down, maybe 1 up, so it kind of changes it. So that's kind of going to be my first section of practice, and if you have any video links that you want to share of cool finger exercises or anything like that you've learned, would love to see them. Comment them at the bottom. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to be doing is doing that exercise that I got from John Mayer, that you just kind of sing something in your head and then play it here. And so I'll just think of something in my head and then try to play it with as much soul and feeling as I could. So if I was like, la, 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 I'll think about, can I play that? And so on. Do, 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 do. And like thinking about those things, I'm gonna try to start making mine a lot more complicated though. And there's a few people that I feel like I'm just gonna be looking at for some different kind of phrasing ideas. Just looking at different guitarists to start getting those just sounds in my brain. Okay, the final part of my practice is going to be making a Spotify playlist and working through different songs. I'm not gonna worry about like learning these all from start to finish, because a lot of these are songs that I'll probably would never play, like a Joe Bonamassa song. No one's probably gonna have me play that, an entire song like Blues Deluxe from start to finish. But what I am going to do is just be learning those licks that I think are going to help my playing and just work through that slowly. So please comment at the bottom any ideas that you have or how you normally like to structure your practicing. If you don't have any structure, a lot of people just pick up and noodle, and that's fine, however it works for you. But I do hope that this helps you, and from somebody living in Nashville, you know, that like is around a lot of this music industry stuff. I think the biggest thing I've learned is make sure that you keep your practice fun and keep it really positive, and try not to turn it into a chore at all that you have to do, or what's the point of doing guitar? So yeah, comment your thoughts at the bottom, and thank you guys so much as always for watching.